Today I'm discussing how to transfer your wealth to your children. Wealth transfer from one generation to the next is one of the skill that many people who are wealthy don't have. Like, of course, on this channel, one of the things that we also do is to try to not debunk per se, but try to educate people on the right way to do things. For many people, all they know about wealth building is I build this wealth, and then when you go, you write a will. And in the will, you say, this my son have this house, and this one have this company, and and then you distribute it, then it's over. And as far as you're concerned, you have transferred your wealth to your children. And God help you. If those children are not serious children, everything you've worked for will die and finish in their time. And 2-3 generations after that, nobody remember you ever existed. The reason is because the strategy we've used is wrong. As a matter of fact, I do not think it's wise for you to work all your life, build all of these things, and give it all to one person in one generation, and then it's over. So what is the right way to do it? What's the right way, the right strategy to use in transferring wealth from one generation to another? Very simple strategy. As a matter of fact, if you are wealthy or if you are building your wealth, you must also not neglect the next generation. Everything you are learning in your process of wealth building, teach them to your children. And the best wealth you can actually transfer to your children is the financial education. You see, the education that you have that make you build the wealth, that's the best asset you can give to your children. So what should I do then? Or what's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is, for example, instead of me saying, okay, my house is worth, let's say that my house is worth 3 million rand. Because this wealth transfer have caused a lot of problem in many families. People have killed themselves. Families have become divided because the parent willed something to somebody that the other kid believes should not end, So these have caused a lot of problem. But you as a parent who is working so hard can make sure that your children never have problem over inheritance. Why? Because when you build wealth, the next thing you must do is you must now, like I said, first educate the children, right? But here is it. Assuming your house is worth 3 million rands, and maybe you have a business, a company, for instance, that is worth, let's say, 5 million rands. These are all assumptions, 5 million rands. And then you have another investment somewhere, let's say that is worth another 2 million rands, right? Assumption. So the total of, let's assume at the time of when you are old, very old now, and you're about to exit, you have a total of, let's say, 10 million rands. Or $10 million, as the case may be, or 10 billion naira, as the case may be, or whatever the case is. So you have this. This is what you've got. This is your wealth. The total assets that you've been able to acquire during your work time. Say, assume you have 2 children or 3 children, and you want to will. What should you do? Should you transfer all this money and say, okay, sell everything, divide the money, give 2.5 to this person, 2.5? If you do that, you are not a smart person. You are not smart. Especially if these kids are still young, if they are still young, if maybe they are in their 20s or younger than 20 years. Once you have this much money and you are already thinking about your children, what you must do is not to will anything, property to any child. What you must do is, if you're going to put a will in place in such a way that maybe at your death, all this, the company, for instance, if the children are not grown to run the business, for instance, you liquidate everything you've got, put this money into an investment. So invest this money. Let's assume that, okay, I got 10 million. Of course, if they live in the house, you cannot sell the house. But if they're not living in the house, you can drop a will in such a way that everything is sold and 10 million rands that you have should be invested in, let's say, in a unit trust, for example, in a unit trust. And let's say, I'm giving an example. Let's say that because with 10 million, you can get the deal to up to 15%, 12% interest on this money, right? Let's assume 10%. At 10% ROI, return on investment, on 10 million rands. 10% of 10 million in a year will be 1.2 million. That you will get in a year, you get around 1.2 million rands in a year. Now, this money will keep coming as long as those 10 million remain invested. So, assuming you have 2 children and you have made 10 million in your lifetime, how then should I will my money or will my wealth to my children? How do I transfer my wealth to my children? Simple. Nobody get lump sum of your money. The money is invested in a unit trust or in other kind of stable investments that have stable returns on investment. So you take 1.52 million is what you get on 10 million invested at 10% return on investment. So with this 1.2 million, what you could do is, let's assume you want to give them a serious life, very powerful life. You know, you can decide that this money is divided into 12. If you divide this money into 12, you're going to have like $100,000 per month on this money. So you can decide that your children get, let's say, a salary of 30,000 rands each every month. That means 30,000 rand each every month out of minus 100. So if you like this divide by 12, will give you like 100,000 in a month. So, and you have 2 kids. So each get 30,000 rands per month, which is like 60,000 rand per month. Remaining 40,000. The remaining $40,000 is added to the investment. See, it's added to the investment. So this money is growing. Your children are being taken care of. And then you have a policy that maybe after 5 years, for instance, this money increases to 40,000 per child. Remember, they also have work to, they are working, probably you might put them through school, they are working. So it makes it impossible for your money to be wasted. You see, and you have a will drawn up in such a way that after like a time comes, that money also now can cater for your children's children. The wealth remains forever in the family that you have built. They also can build their own wealth because of what you've taught them in terms of knowledge, financial education. They can invest their own money to build their own wealth for their own time. So in the day of their children, the family that you've started will be a multi-billionaire, billion-dollar family. That's how to transfer wealth. Not giving the bulk of the money to one person who goes and squander it and everything is over. You build a system for them that take care of your family way after you are gone. Your children are fine forever. You see it, after every 5 years, their monthly income increases. Maybe by 10,000 or so, it increases. So in the event where any child even decided not to do anything or is not smart to succeed in life on his own, you take care of the child for the rest of his or her life on earth. When you do this, you've been an intelligent financier as a father. And it's not difficult. There's a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot you can do with this. The investment is growing. Even way after you are gone, your children have been taken care of properly. on an increasing income. And then maybe after 20 years, for instance, this money probably will have grown to like 20 million or 15 million or even, much more than that. You include their own children as well in the will. The same goes to their children's children. This is how to keep wealth in the family. So that in 1,000 years, if everything remains the same, in 1,000 years, you have built one of the most powerful family on earth. And another way you can do it is to do percentage, right? You do percentage. You don't have to be 30,000. You do percentage. This percent of the income monthly goes to this charge, so that with the percentage, it will be, no matter as you increases, it just increases. Everything increases. It goes down to your great grandchildren as well. Giving them percentages. It could be 1%. Of course, 1% of several million will mean so much for those grandchildren. That's how to transfer wealth, not giving things. I give you all the work you work for. Say it's for my children. You give everything to one child, and in maybe 1 or 2 or 3 years, everything is down the drain. Your family suffers like you never worked, you never suffer. So all of this thing that have to do with finances is a serious work. It's a serious work, and you must be very intentional about it. That odd thing of I have a will, give that house to that person, give that company to that person, it doesn't work. You cannot give a company to somebody who doesn't know how to run a business. So at your debt, let it be in your will. Let the money, everything be liquidated and invested. You can choose the vehicle yourself. It could be unit trust. You can define it all in your will. And let them know that they will start getting any money from the month or 2 months after the will has been done and all this have been done. And the investment has been made. Then there will be no reason for your children to fight over wealth, because it's not coming to them anyway. You say, you get your own, I get my own, everybody get paid at the end of the month. Life goes on. We're happy with ourselves. See, so it's very important. Something else I found out. All right, we'll talk about this in another video. Thank you. I hope you learned something. See you in the next video.